afternoon, Jane Kelly here. So I basically come on live in the group a couple of days a week to just talk about e-commerce business, setup, bit of marketing, bit of SEO, lots of different things. But for the next the last week, this week and next week, I'm pretty much talking about knowing your customer and just picking out a couple of little bits and pieces that I think are real nuggets, and I've also got a blog stroke article to follow up. So if you are watching, say hi. If not, on replay, it would be great just to know what you think and your views really. So I've got my blog post printed. Obviously I'm not going to read it, I'll just refer to it. So some of you obviously are starting out with your business, and some of you may be halfway through running your business, and some of you may have been running your business for a while. But it's one of the things, if you are on the program or have been in my world or maybe on one of my challenges, you will know, is after the niche talk is your customer profile talk, because if you don't get this right from the beginning, then you are talking to too many people. So this is all about today is knowing your customer, which is the series that, oh hi Susan, is the series that we are working through at the moment. But today is all about segmenting your audience, because if you're like me, I actually have quite a few different types of what is known as an avatar or a customer profile. And although all of my customers, mostly to do with my e-commerce program, are women entrepreneurs, probably 40-ish plus. So I attract obviously maybe older women and women like me. So I work within that band, and what that means is that my audience is quite segmented. So I can pinpoint an age roughly, and then what gets really interesting is the demographics, because I have a lot of contact with the UK still, because I used to live there, but now I live and run a business in France. I obviously am out talking and networking to many women in France, so my audience has two demographics. So when in my program, we're sort of coming up to it shortly about setting up, for those that actually haven't got a company set up yet, I will be talking in two different ways, because I have two different audiences, in that some live in France and some live in the UK. And some women only have a French business set up, and some women might only have a UK. So obviously they're not really interested, unless they're moving to France, about how to set up a business in France. And obviously the French expats know how to set up a business in the UK, because they either might still have one if they've got a limited company, or they might be transitioning, etc. So I personally have two demographic audiences, and when I'm talking to my clients, I will talk to a woman who is in my position. So I'm 49 plus 1 years old. Everybody laughs, but I am only joking. I'm 50, I admit it. But I'm in a position where my children are older. So my conversation is not me 12 years ago, although I could have that conversation. So I could relate to a woman who has children who are younger, but they might be in a 9-to-5 job. So it all depends, but this is all about segmenting your audience, because you might find that you eventually might have a couple of different products that actually might be for different audiences. So when I go on a lot about one audience, one product, one niche at one time. Obviously, as your business grows, you will have other products. So my other product is, oh, hi Lisa. My other product is my WordPress websites. So I have all types of people on that, from freelancers, small businesses, UK, charities in France, and so that audience is a lot wider. And so really, they're all different ages, they have all different lifestyles. So then we're moving in to, I just have to check I get this right, psychographics. So I've just been talking about demographics, but now psychographics is all about lifestyle and personalities. So this is where you again can segment your audiences. Then some places have, so some companies would sell a range of maybe different price products. So therefore you'd have a whole different buying behavior where somebody may buy a higher priced item more regularly, whereas some people might buy a lower price. So then you have that type of segmentation. So a really good example as well is not only the sort of like the e-commerce made easy program that I run, but also for those of you that may or may not know that one of my other online businesses is I'm self-published my own creative magazine, and it's for photographers, but I would say 80% are photographers, and if I looked at their market, then I could segment them into the fact that some are hobby photographers, some are semi-professional photographers, which is great because that's who my magazine is aimed at. However, because all of my branding is like behind the scenes of a photo shoot, of course, a huge proportion of readers are also makeup artists, models and designers, but obviously more are the photographers. But that's again a really good way to segment. So if I'm sending out content about a photo shoot and I'm quite general, then that's brilliant. But I have writers for my blog, my magazine's blog, who write for models who are doing photo shoots, or they write makeup artists that write for other makeup artists. So they're going to have a very different take on what is being put out there for them rather than just photographers. So Susan and Lisa are having a little chat there. Oh, Lisa's talking about niche. It is very difficult. Niching is very difficult. Okay, so just moving on then. Why would you want to segment your audience? Well, you might want to launch another product for a completely different age group, or you might find that you're out there doing your thing and people from other demographics are coming in. So I might draw in a younger audience of women who are enjoying maybe working from home and want to start a business as like a side hustle, or they're starting a family and want to stay at home to bring up their family. So they're not really going to hook into when I talk about living life with your laptop and traveling the world in your camper van, because if they've got babies and things, they don't really want to be hearing that right now. But 20 years, yeah, great. So that's why it's really important to start segmenting down. And then how you would do that is literally you would look at your content, and if you have a website that's all geared up for one type of market audience, there's no reason why you can't produce some other how-tos and articles based on somebody who's coming into your world from another angle, from another demographic or personality. And I know that as my completely forgot the name of my own program, E-commerce made easy, that's it. I know that I would attract American companies, American ladies. So, you know, is it a case that they're not really going to be interested in either the UK or the French business setup? But I don't really know much about setting up a company in America. So, but what I do know is how to create, grow, launch and grow an online business, which can be anywhere in the world. But it's the language, isn't it? Now, obviously, because I'm in, you know, France, and then I have the UK link, that's where most of my audience are coming from. But they are very different and have very different needs. So I'll put the blog post underneath. Have a read. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that I can mention. Oh, only really. So if you do have like an email management or marketing system, then again you can send out relevant information to suit your audience. So if you have a product that's more suited to a younger audience, then you can write different content. So obviously for people that are just setting out on this journey, they have to be known for one thing at one time, which is like my little mantra where I drive everybody mad. But then as you grow, so you know, that's fine. I've got sort of 3 things going on, but I'm only out there talking about one of them at the one time to the right audience. So I don't really go off and talk about my magazine to you in great detail because you're not a photographer. Well, some of you are, or some of you may be, but you might go, oh, I'll have a look at that. But most of my audience aren't photographers. So I will have that conversation with my photography people. And, you know, that's it. It's all about knowing your customer and knowing how to talk to them. So if you have any questions about segmenting, you know, pop them underneath. And on hopefully Friday, we will be, just get my little schedule, we will be talking about purchasing behaviour. So how can you see how your customers or what they are purchasing? So that would be quite an interesting one too. Bye for now. Any questions, pop down below.